Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a true legend, an icon that redefined the superbike world and broke countless hearts when it was announced it would ride off into the sunset. We're paying tribute to the one and only Yamaha YZF-R1. For over 2.5 decades, the R1 wasn't just a motorcycle, it was the benchmark, it was the poster on the bedroom wall, the dream bike for a generation of riders, and a dominant force on racetracks around the globe. So, what made the R1 so special? And why, after all this time, is Yamaha pulling the plug on its street-legal version in Europe? Let's dive deep into the legacy of this incredible machine. To truly appreciate the R1, we need to rewind to 1998. The superbike scene was fiercely competitive, dominated by bikes like the Honda CBR 900RR Fireblade. Other manufacturers were building powerful bikes, but they were often heavy and difficult to handle. The prevailing wisdom was that to get more power, you needed a bigger engine, which meant a longer wheelbase and a less agile bike. Yamaha decided to flip that script completely. Their lead engineer Kunihiko Miwa had a revolutionary idea: no compromise. The goal was to create a superbike with the power of a 1000cc machine but the nimble, razor-sharp handling of a 600. The result was the original 1998 Yamaha R1. It was a game-changer. The heart of this revolution was the world's first vertically stacked gearbox. This might sound like a minor technical detail, but it was pure genius. By stacking the transmission shafts, Yamaha made the engine significantly shorter from front to back. This allowed them to use a longer swing arm while keeping the overall wheelbase short. A longer swing arm meant better traction and stability under acceleration, and the short wheelbase gave it the agility of a much smaller bike. It was the best of both worlds. And then there was the engine itself, a 998cc 20-valve inline-4 powerhouse that pumped out a claimed 150 horsepower in 1998. That was an absolutely insane number for a bike that weighed just 177 kilograms dry. It had a power-to-weight ratio that was simply unheard of for a production motorcycle. It looked aggressive, with its sharp lines and twin fox-eye headlights that would become an iconic design feature for years to come. The first-generation R1 didn't just move the goalposts, it kicked them into the next town. It was faster, lighter, and more agile than anything else on the road. It forced every other manufacturer to go back to the drawing board. Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, they all had to respond. The R1 single-handedly kickstarted a new era of the superbike wars, pushing technology and performance to incredible new heights. As the years went on, the R1 never rested on its laurels. Yamaha was relentless in its pursuit of perfection. The 2002 model saw the introduction of fuel injection, making the power delivery smoother and more precise. The 2004 generation brought a completely new engine with a shorter stroke, allowing it to rev higher and faster. This was also the year we saw the iconic underseat exhaust pipes, a design trend that defined an entire era of sport bikes. But the next massive leap came in 2009. Inspired directly by Valentino Rossi's championship-winning YZR-M1 MotoGP bike, Yamaha introduced the crossplane crankshaft. This was another game-changer. Instead of the typical screamer engine where pistons move up and down in pairs, the crossplane crankshaft had an uneven firing interval. So, what does that mean for the rider? It creates a unique, growling engine sound, totally different from other inline-4s, but more importantly, it delivered incredibly linear torque and an unparalleled connection between the throttle and the rear wheel. Riders could feel exactly what the tire was doing, giving them immense confidence to get on the power earlier and harder out of corners. The crossplane R1 wasn't just about raw power. It was about usable, controllable performance. It felt more like a V4 than a traditional inline-4, and it once again set the R1 apart from its rivals. Then came 2015, arguably the most significant evolution since the original. The all-new R1 was a technological masterpiece, developed with direct input from Valentino Rossi himself. Yamaha's tagline was, "We are one," and they meant it. This bike was as close to a road-legal MotoGP machine as you could get. It was packed with a full suite of electronics that was previously reserved for top-tier racing. We're talking about a 6-axis inertial measurement unit, or IMU. This little box of magic constantly measures the bike's pitch, roll, and yaw. It enabled a whole host of rider aids: traction control that knew how much the bike was leaning, slide control, lift control to prevent wheelies, launch control, and cornering abs. This wasn't about dumbing the bike down. It was about making its phenomenal performance accessible and safe. It allowed riders to push their limits and the bike's limits with a safety net that was simply unimaginable a decade earlier. The engine produced a staggering 200 horsepower, and the bike was more compact and lighter than ever. The design was also a radical departure, with hidden LED headlights and an M1-inspired fairing that screamed racetrack. This generation of R1, along with its even more exotic sibling, the R1M, with its electronic Öhlins suspension and carbon fiber bodywork, cemented Yamaha's place at the pinnacle of superbike engineering. It won championships in World Superbike, British Superbikes, and Moto America, proving its dominance on the track. So, if the R1 is so incredible, so successful, and so beloved, why is Yamaha discontinuing the street-legal version? The simple, and perhaps frustrating answer is emissions regulations. Specifically, the stringent Euro 5+ standards. Meeting these ever-tighter regulations requires a huge investment in research and development. For a high-performance, high-revving engine like the R1's, it's particularly challenging. You often have to add heavier catalytic converters and tweak the engine mapping, which can sometimes compromise the raw performance and character that makes these bikes so special in the first place. Yamaha looked at the numbers. The 1000cc superbike market isn't what it used to be. While these bikes are the halo products, the flagships of the brand, they don't sell in huge volumes. The market has shifted towards adventure bikes, naked bikes, and smaller capacity sport bikes. So, Yamaha faced a choice. Spend millions of euros developing a new Euro 5+ compliant R1 for a shrinking street market, or focus those resources elsewhere. They chose the latter. It's a business decision, a pragmatic one, but it still stings for enthusiasts. Now, let's be clear, the R1 is not disappearing completely. Yamaha has stated that they will continue to produce the bike purely as a Triconi machine. This makes sense. The R1's home has always been the racetrack, and by freeing it from the constraints of road legality like emissions, noise limits, and requirements for mirrors and turn signals, Yamaha can focus on making it the ultimate track weapon. This follows a similar path to what Suzuki did with the GSX R100 in Europe. It's a trend we might see more of in the future. The Lita-class superbikes are becoming so extreme, so focused, that their natural habitat is no longer the public road. They are evolving into pure, undiluted racing machines for track day enthusiasts and club races. But for those of us who dreamed of owning a brand new R1 for the street, who loved seeing that aggressive front end in our rearview mirrors, it's the end of an era. The Yamaha R1 wasn't just a collection of parts, it was an attitude. It represented the pinnacle of engineering, a commitment to performance without compromise. From the revolutionary stacked gearbox of '98 to the Moog-derived crossplane engine and the advanced electronics of the latest generation, the R1 has consistently pushed the boundaries of what a sport bike can be. It forced its competitors to be better, and it gave riders a taste of Grand Prix technology for the road. The legacy of the R1 is written in every racetrack victory, in every magazine shootout it won, and in the memories of every rider who ever twisted its throttle and felt that incredible surge of power. It's a legacy of innovation, dominance, and pure, unadulterated speed. While we're sad to see its street chapter close, we have to celebrate the incredible 26-year run it had. The Yamaha R1 came into the world with a bang and leaves our public roads as a legend. It was a bike that changed the game forever, and it will never be forgotten. What are your favorite memories of the Yamaha R1? Which generation was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. It's been an honor to pay tribute to this amazing machine. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe.